Welcome, DoorGrow hackers, to the DoorGrow Show. If you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to add doors, make a difference, increase revenue, help others, impact lives, and you're interested in growing in business and life, and you're open to doing things a bit differently, then you are a DoorGrow hacker. DoorGrow hackers love the opportunities, daily variety, unique challenges, and freedom that property management brings. Many in real estate think you're crazy for doing it. You think they're crazy for not, because you realize that property management is the ultimate high trust gateway to real estate deals, relationships, and residual income. At DoorGrow, we are on a mission to transform property management business owners and their businesses. We want to transform the industry, eliminate the BS, build awareness, change perception, expand the market, and help the best property management entrepreneurs win. I'm your host, property management growth expert Jason Hall, the founder and CEO of DoorGrow, here with Sarah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
You do it.
Sarah, the COO of DoorGrow, and my wife. Now let's get into the show. You do it. All right.
You're on a roll.
I'm on a roll. All right. Welcome, everybody. So today I was like, Sarah, what should we talk about? And so the topic we decided to talk about is something that's been really beneficial to us. We want to talk about why, as a property manager, you need a tribe. You need people. As a property management entrepreneur, business owner, you need a tribe, or you need some people to support you in your positive goals and your growth. And one of the things that I've seen in the industry a lot is there's a lot of people in the industry. Property management is tough, right? It can be tough. And it's very easy to create a tribe or have a tribe or be in groups in which everybody's negative about property management, right? Like where they're just sharing wine memes and like, hey, it's the end of the day, property management, tenants, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the opposite, a tribe that helps you focus on the positivity and moving your business forward. And that's been super beneficial for us in our business. So maybe Sarah can tell us a little bit about that. So,
all right. Well, I think in property management, there's a lot of different challenges. We can all agree on that. So it is easy to kind of jump on that train of, hey, this is hard and my life sucks and I don't know why I do this. And sometimes I don't get paid enough money to deal with this. So it's very challenging. It's a tough industry. It is not for the faint of heart, but it can also be very rewarding. And I think surrounding yourself with positive energy and positive people versus the naysayers and the people who want to focus on, oh, how bad their day was and how hard this is and how challenging this is and how tired they are and that they're just constantly drained. If those are the people that are surrounding you and that's what you're hearing, you, like, whether you realize it or not, you're programming your brain to think this way. So if we're surrounded by people that are constantly negative and they live for the weekend and they're like, oh, I'm going on vacation, I can't wait, and don't bother me, leave me alone. Like, if you don't just truly enjoy what you do and you're being dragged down constantly, your brain is absorbing all of this. It's like a sponge. So really what you're doing to yourself is it's a form of self-sabotage. And it's really important to get yourself around people that are just vibrating at a higher energy. I know that sounds really woo-woo, but that's something that over the last few years, I've had to work really hard at. I've really become a professional at cutting people off and cutting people out if they're not a champion of me, if they're not somehow helping to promote me or helping me to think more or differently or really proud of what I've done. Because there are always people who are like, oh, yeah, I don't like that guy. I don't like that girl. Like, oh, yeah, they're great and all. They've got a bunch of success, but it came because they don't do things the right way, or they took an easy way out. So if you're surrounding yourself with people like that, you've got to minimize all of those thoughts and all of the time that you're really spending so that you put yourself in a better position in order to be positive, in order to grow. Your growth will be very limited if you are surrounded all the time with toxicity and negativity.
Yeah, I think it's really important to be around people that don't believe your excuses, right? If you're around people that are like, yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, it sucks sometimes. And that's just like the way it works. Or, yeah, it's difficult to grow. Or, yeah, that's hard. Or, yeah, I'm dealing with that too, right? Then you're in a support group for a problem, right? That's a support group for a problem, right? That's not helping you move past it. And so you need to be around people that don't believe your excuses and that can see your limiting beliefs. And they're like, that's gross. Like, you don't need that. That's bullshit, right? Like, you don't need that belief. Like, it's actually like this. This is how I see it. And that changes your beliefs if you hang out with those people because their beliefs are more true and more accurate. They're not going to change theirs down to your crappy limiting beliefs. You're going to up level yours. And we all have those at any level. We all have them. And then we talk to somebody that's at a higher level and they're like, well, I see it this way. And we're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't see that before. So you need a tribe. So one of the challenges that is created, I believe, naturally for entrepreneurs is entrepreneurial isolation. Like we're isolated, especially in early stages. You probably felt this when you first started your business. It's all me. I'm all alone.
Yeah. Well, I think I felt that until I came to Texas. So,
What was different about Texas?
well, I think everything was really different about Texas, but I think just the mindset of people here is so different. And it's a lot easier to be around people that just they think there's more. They think it's easy. I think something that I kind of had a lot of when I grew up was making money is hard. Like you've got to turn, you've got to work. You might need to work 2, 3, 4, sometimes jobs
Yeah.
in order to make the money that you want. And the mindset that I had for a long period of my younger life was, hey, if I want more money, I've got to work more hours, or I've got to get a raise, or I've got to get an extra job. So for years of my life, I had just worked multiple jobs, 2 or 3 at a time, so that I can make the money I wanted. And I just thought, like, this is what you do, this is normal. And it's hard. Like, if you can do great things, but it's hard, and you just have to buckle down and like dig your heels in and just plow through. And only within, I'd say, the last 3 years did I realize it's not hard. It's hard if you make it hard. It's hard if you think it's hard. And it's hard if you're surrounded by people that tell you it's hard. Then it's going to be hard. You best bet it will be hard. But it doesn't have to be hard. It really doesn't. And just your own mindset can really prep you for what you're going to receive. So if you think, oh, it's hard and I've just got to grind and there's no other way to do this, that's what you're going to get.
I think every entrepreneur goes through kind of this journey. From a young age, entrepreneurs are a little bit different. We don't value safety and certainty as the highest priority. We are a little bit more adrenaline junkies. We're a little bit more focused on taking risks. We're willing to work longer hours and harder to like get something going in order to have more freedom. We care more about freedom than just staying safe and having a safe, stable job. And we think the world can change. We see that things could be better. We want to improve everything around us. We're like, why are people doing it that way? We're not satisfied with the status quo. So what that creates is that creates a situation in which we're weird and we get a lot of friction. And everybody around us is like, why are you being weird? Like, why don't you just go along with what everyone else is doing? Just do what everyone else is doing and be safe. Like, why don't you just go get a job? Any entrepreneurs ever heard that before, right? They don't get us. And so we start to learn as an entrepreneur, I probably shouldn't say anything. I should probably like not put out there what I'm doing. I need to isolate more because I'm getting so much friction.
People just, they don't understand it. They don't get it. But
Yeah, they
you
don't.
have this higher vision that other people just they don't have yet, and they can't see it. It's your job, though, to help them see it. So if you small yourself and you make yourself smaller and more little, and you just say, hey, I'm just gonna do my own thing, I won't worry about it, then you're taking that opportunity away from not only yourself but from other people to see, hey, there's more. This isn't it. You're not done yet.
It's really difficult though if somebody's wired that they're at their core, they're like, I want safety and certainty more than freedom and more than taking risks. You're not really probably going to change them or convince them. And because we're a minority, we're rare as entrepreneurs, in order to escape that entrepreneurial isolation that we've all created around ourselves, where we think we're on an island and it's all up to me and I've got to get my team to do stuff and we feel weird and we're different, we have to start connecting with other entrepreneurs. Then we start to realize we're not weird. I went through this, and when I first got my first coach, and he was like, described what entrepreneurs were like, and he was like this, and I went to an in-person event, and it was a group of entrepreneurs, and they were all making way more money than me, and I felt like the ants in the room, but they all were kind to me. They all loved my ideas. My coach at the time was like, you have a multi-million-dollar business and you don't even know it. I started crying because he could see that I had the capacity to do something that I couldn't even see at the time. And that's why it's so important to get around people that can believe in you. And that's the thing. If you're around other entrepreneurs that are high functioning, where you have good coaches, good mentors, good people that you're connected with, good friends, whatever, they will see you in your greatness. They'll see you in that you're playing small. They'll see that there's something better for you that you can't even maybe see for yourself. And that changed me. It changed me as a person. That event changed me because I was like, whoa, all these people have multi-million-dollar companies and they all were listening to my nerdiness and what ideas I had. And they thought I was helpful and valuable. And if they can do it, I can probably do it too. And that was like, and I just thought maybe that was impossible. Like, but if they can do it, these people can do it, maybe I can do it. Right. So, and that's part of the why we invest a lot as a company and why we're in a lot of different masterminds and programs ourselves, and why we offer a mastermind to our clients, which has become our main business. We have our mastermind groups for our clients. So do you want to talk maybe about some of the groups that we've been in, or some of the benefits we've seen in being part of some of these groups that we're in?
Yeah, I think even over the last couple of months, we've gone and done several like in-person mastermind styled events. And some of them last minute, you were like, oh, I don't think we should go. Our business doesn't need anything. Good right now. We already know what we're doing. We just need to do it. Yeah. And I think sometimes that's exactly when you need to go. Yeah. So even that event that you said, oh, I don't know if we should go and do it, we had planned to, and then about a week beforehand, Jason's like, oh,
we had so
We're
much.
good. Like, we have so much on our plate. We already know what to do. We just need to buckle down and do it and get it done. And I said, I think that's why we need to go.
And it was really good. Like, I had some serious breakthroughs. Like, I broke down and had a breakthrough. And there was stuff that I just couldn't see. And being around, these are high functioning people that we got to hang out with. You're talking about Puerto Rico, right?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Our Puerto Rico trip. We did another really cool one in Houston with a different group of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
A lot of these are coaches. So we're connected heavily to the coaching industry. We went and did the Nashville. We went to another group there.
2 times to Nashville.
Yeah, twice. That was a game changer for us as a company.
Both times. And that's the thing is sometimes you might go to something and it's really good. And then you wonder the second time, like, am I going to get as much out of it? Is it going to be as good? What are they going to do this time? And it was absolutely just as good as the first time. And I think the first time you walked away with like 77 little like ideas. And I didn't see your list this time, but it was huge.
Big list this time
it was huge. So there was a big, long list of things that sometimes it just takes a person on the outside looking in to say, oh, well, why don't you do it like this? And you're like, oh, I can't even believe I missed that.
We still need to sit down and go through the last event we just got back from in Nashville and go through all of that.
Haven't even been back a week yet.
Yeah, but we've got our conference this week. So we're getting our clients together so they can experience an in-person connection. So that's another piece. A lot of these masterminds, there's a virtual component. We have that as well. But the ones we're talking about where we get the greatest benefit, there's been virtual components to those, but the in-person really is dramatically different for us.
It is different. It's just so different when you get face to face with people. You really get to connect with them. I think sometimes it's in the unplanned moments too. It's like, hey, we're in the taxi going to this place, or we're on the bus driving around, and
Totally.
like there's no structure to those moments. It's like, hey, we're going to go from here to here, and to do that, we're going to get on the bus. But it's the conversations that are happening on the bus. We're all sitting there, and you sit in different spots and you talk to different people, and you're like, hey, I heard this is what you do, and I'd love to pick your brain on this. And there's so many people, especially in that group in Nashville, there's so many people that they've just been there, done that. Like they've tried it, they've won, they've failed, and they're like, I'm completely willing and open to contribute to other people. And I think that's the other component of it, is you can't go into a group like this and say,
I'm
just taking, I'm not telling anybody what I do. I'm just going to hide. I'm not telling anybody because this is like my secret sauce.
Yeah.
Get the secret sauce all over everything. Tell everybody, hey, this is what I do. This is how it works. Because no matter how good you are, even if you're like, hey, things are freaking awesome for me, that's great. You can still get in a group like this. And if you come in and say, hey, like, this is amazing, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, you're still going to get some ideas, because there's going to be something that someone says and you go, oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Didn't even think of it. And a lot of times it's like you're just too close to the fire.
Yeah, like one of the in-between moments we had in Nashville was with our friend Sharon. And Sharon, he's the CEO of a company that just posted, like, I think they publicly posted they had $4 billion in Q1 in
Not
revenue.
just total, like $4 billion. And
so this guy knows a thing or two. And he shared one idea that was so simple, it could potentially double our client retention rates. And these are the type of things that we want to bring to the table for our clients. Like, we're always innovating, always looking for what's the best, what's working really well. How can we optimize things? And a lot of our best ideas don't come from the property management industry. They come from like us playing our own game of business in the coaching industry, which is what we are now. We do websites, but we started as a web design agency, but we're no longer really an agency. We're more of a coaching business and running a mastermind. But we're always learning better and higher systems and ideas that we can then give to our clients. And our clients are also contributing really cool ideas. Like our last DoorGrow Live event, this one we have people presenting too from within the group, like they're sharing. But we had some amazing ideas shared at the last event where everybody was like, no matter how big, I'm starting a maintenance company, or I'm going to start doing this, because they got this idea that was unique and different than I'd heard in the industry of how to make this work more effectively. Really cool ideas. And we're just stacking cool ideas all the time. I don't think there's any other program out there that is able to stack cool ideas. Even, NARPM's a really great organization, and there's some really great organizations out there and people that do coaching. There's some other masterminds, but I don't think anybody moves as quickly or invests as much money as we do into our own coaching and into masterminds and working with high-level people and creating connections, relationships. And so I don't think there's anyone that moves as fast as us too. Like, we move really fast as a team because of our amazing systems. It's the same system we teach clients to do for planning, DoorGrow OS, and all this kind of stuff that you've probably heard me talk about on the podcast before. I want to challenge something you said. You said moving to Texas was different. And I think what's really different is moving to Austin area. Austin has a very entrepreneurial community. That's kind of unique to the area. And like, I lived in LA area, and
I'm sorry.
All right, SoCal, everybody from Pennsylvania thinks SoCal, like, if you've been to Pennsylvania, like up there, sorry, but I don't think it's that great.
I'm also
but
sorry if you live in Pennsylvania.
SoCal's pretty great, except the politics is horrible. And there's and some of the areas are getting really bad, but that's why I left, right? But SoCal in LA, you think there'd be a lot of entrepreneurs and whatever, like, people are about themselves. Like, it was really difficult to connect. I couldn't find groups or communities. I would go to some events and it just wasn't the same. And it's very different here. And a lot of people here are from California, it's like all the best people escaped, but it's an awesome community here that allows us to connect with entrepreneurs and destroy that entrepreneurial isolation, right, that I had mentioned. Now, a lot of people don't invest in these things because they think they can figure it out themselves. I mean, it's every entrepreneur's default thing. I'm smart enough. I can
Mhm.
watch some YouTube videos. I can read some books. I can figure it all out myself.
I can do it.
That's like
Yeah.
stage one. You think you're the hero, you're a king, you can do it all on your own, right? But you
And
know,
it's not even that you're wrong, because you can.
yeah, it's true.
You can do it by yourself.
Let's
Right.
take a decade longer.
It's just going to be infinitely harder. And I think one of the beautiful things about connecting with other people that are in your industry specifically, they all have a different formula for what they do. They all have different knowledge, they all have different experiences and expertise. So, I mean, there are people in our mastermind group that they're like, "Hey, this is what I am going through right now, and it's a mistake that we made, and I want to share it with the rest of the group so that everybody else in the rest of the group gets to learn without having made the mistake themselves."
I think also what's unique about because it's not just property managers getting together. There's lots of other places they could do that besides DoorGrow. I think what's really unique is that because of how much I've invested and how much we invest as a company and how much we've kind of consolidated and that we continue to do that aggressively and very quickly. I mean, we're in, I think, 2, 3 high-level, high-ticket masterminds right now. We spend easily 6 figures a year as a company on that. Like my business allows me to feed my coaching addiction and to get more stuff, right? More
That's
ideas.
true.
Right. So the business serves me because I love to learn, right? And I love teaching and sharing. I think what's really different though is that when people come into our group, their mindset very quickly gets upgraded. I mean, we have a training called Mindset Secrets. Like we are changing these people, the way they think and the way they operate. And now they are able to be part of a group of other people with that upgraded mindset and that upgraded level of thinking. And they're not doing stupid stuff. Like they're not like, oh, I'm going to go just try and do internet marketing or content marketing or whatever they're trying to do to grow. They're like, there's better ways. Well, I'm going to do this stuff that DoorGrow taught me. So everybody comes in with a bunch of junk and a bunch of garbage and a bunch of false beliefs and a bunch of ideas of what could work and that's not really working, and they're frustrated or stuck. They're stagnant in their operations. They're doing too much in their business. They're not really enjoying their team. Like we get all of them to see a better way of doing all of this and change it. A lot of people think DoorGrow is all about growth. That's like such an easy thing we solve for clients is adding a bunch of doors. What we really do is we really help business owners become entrepreneurs and run really effective teams and get really great people and build really great systems and operations. That's really what DoorGrow does, but everybody thinks DoorGrow must just help people grow. Really, we love working with the 200 to 400 door plus companies that are struggling with people, systems, team, operations, because these are all the things the business owner thinks they should be doing that they should not be doing. This is what their operator or these people should be doing on their team, right? And so because they come in and we upgrade their mindset very quickly, that group as a group, this hive mind, this mastermind are able to contribute so much more value than I was able to see in any other groups in the industry. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
obviously
a really
biased,
good point.
but
No, I think that's a good point. And I think it gives you really a place to be recognized too, because we don't get that.
yeah.
Like there's no one, when you're in school or when you're a kid and like you do something, you get like the gold star or something. You're like, oh, hey, I got a lollipop because I did my chores today. Like,
Yeah.
as adults, we don't get that. There's nobody who's like, I'm so happy about what you did. Like, you did such a good job. Yay for you. Like, unless you have these connections, you miss out on that.
So you're kind of touching on the gamification or the gamification where we've gamified our mastermind, right? We've got like our belt levels, like you're moving through martial arts for property managers where you're going from like zero, a fantasy belt to a white belt of getting your first door to being a black belt at 1,000 doors. And we have like achievements you've mapped out, that we have achievements that we've mapped out as a company for people to achieve certain things, to showcase their expertise. And our clients wear, like, this is new, but they're going to be wearing at DoorGrow Live this week, they're going to be wearing lanyards that are their belt color that they've earned in our system. This is not just because they have doors. You don't get to be a black belt because you have 1,000 doors. You have to start as a white belt, get on the mat and like earn each of these belt levels by achieving certain milestones in DoorGrow to prove that you've up-leveled your mindset, you've up-leveled parts of your business, and that you've got things financially in place and that you have a profitable company. Like there's all these requirements that we've installed, and that gamification makes it a lot more fun, and it allows some of that, recognition to be seen by other people, right?
Yeah.
So that's been really
and I think
helpful.
that's a really good point too, is the door count doesn't always matter. That's what we in the industry, that's what we're like, oh, they have 5,000 doors. Like, oh my God, that's insane. But
Right.
I've seen companies with like 8,500 doors that make $54 a door.
Or
I'm
worse.
sorry, but
That's revenue. Some of them aren't very profitable.
Well, right. So I have zero interest in running a company that has 8,500 doors in which I'm making next to nothing, or worse, losing money, and I'm not getting paid, or I'm not getting paid well, because all of the money is going out to expenses. So what we've done is we've kind of engineered things so that, because I mean, given the choice, if you could have a company with 8,500 doors making bare bones minimum, or if you could have a company with 1,000 doors, but you're extremely profitable. So that's what we really focus on with, especially the belt system that we put in place. But what's really great about it is when you come to like one of the live events, you can just pick them out of the crowd super easy by the lanyard. Just look at the color. And if you know the DoorGrow code and the belt system, you'll know very easily, like, hey, this is where I'm at and this is what I want. So let me find the people in the room that are ahead of me. That's who I'm going to talk to.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Yeah. So
love it.
Yeah. So that's helpful. Like everybody needs a hero to chase after. They need those mentors. And so we facilitate that in our program as well. So yeah, so it's been a game changer for us to have tribes that we're a part of that can help us level up. Sometimes they're pointing out things that are so obvious and so stupid that we're missing because we're too close to the fire that it's ridiculous. Like one of them was, we do website design for a lot of our clients, and we've done that for over a decade. But one of the people that ran a multi-million-dollar business that we were in a group with said, hey, your website says you do this, and this doesn't sound like what you described. We had changed so much in the previous 6 months, and it was about 6 months since we had redone our website. It was all outdated. Our homepage was outdated. And so it was such like a blind spot, and it was so obvious, and it could affect our revenue so much. It was so stupid. Like I was embarrassed because I'm like, I run a web design agency and we do this, and I've done this forever, and I'm missing something so simple and obvious that could make things so much easier. So we changed that, and now we're getting a lot more leads and a lot more flow. And it was just like something that we were missing, and we just needed somebody outside. And there's so many things like that. We just did a premium mastermind event. We went to Pigeon Forge.
Well,
Sarah set this all up.
Yeah.
So it was like in the Rocky Mountains area, like by Pigeon Forge. Smoky Mountains.
Smoky. Not in the Rocky Mountains.
I don't know where it was. Sarah set it all up.
I know, you just showed. He's like, what am I doing? I'm like, just show up.
Right.
So
yeah.
So I kind of set everything up. But what we did is we got a hand-selected group of people together, and we rented out like a luxury vacation rental. I wanted it to be nice, like very nice. Beautiful view of the Smoky Mountains.
It was like this beautiful cabin.
Oh, it was awesome.
Up on this hill, like a beautiful view.
It wasn't a hill. It was at the top of the mountain.
I don't know. I call that a hill, but it was beautiful. We had big mountains behind my house when I lived in SoCal. Yeah. So, but it was really beautiful. We did some fun things with them.
Yeah. It was really great because we got everyone together, and the first day it's like everybody's just kind of hanging out at the property. We're having dinner. We're just kind of talking. We're just figuring it out. The next day we did a deep dive on everyone's business. And I think that was incredible because you get to just contribute to the group with what you can. You get to receive from the group with what you need. And then at the end of the day, we went and we just had some fun. So we got out of business mode, which sometimes entrepreneurs are not really great at doing. So we got out of business mode. We went to dinner, we went to a museum, and then we got back
It was
to the
fun.
property, and some of us were like, okay, we were up until, I don't know, it's like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
just talking,
chatting.
because we all just couldn't stop. We were all like, okay. Some
So
of them were
fun.
like, I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. I think there was probably a good like 6 of us up until like 1 a.m. And everyone just got so much out of that. And like we got so much out of that too. And it's like that style of event that we've been to, and we just knew we needed to implement that in our program. Because if we come across something and we benefit that much from it, like I said to Jason, I was like, we have to do this. Like we have to make this happen for our clients. I don't care what it takes.
Going back, my point of bringing this up is that a lot of these business owners, these property management business owners, were at similar stage in their business, and they were able to share ideas. Everybody kind of opened up what their problems were. We looked at their financials, like we went deep, and they were very vulnerable, and everybody could see some really obvious things that the business owner couldn't see. Like one of them was still getting a lot of phone calls and wasn't able to function in that BDM role that they wanted to as a business owner, while their spouse was functioning more as the operator role. And they weren't able to do that because they were getting so many calls and property management related stuff to work on. And it was so simple. It was just changing the phone system. That was it. It was just changing and setting up a phone system and setting up some routing. And that's freed up so much more time since he went to that event. He like made those changes really quickly, and now he's got way more bandwidth, right? So,
and since then he's now over 200 doors. Did you know that?
Yeah. What was he at before?
I think at the event he was 150 something.
Yeah. So
he's now over 200. And that event was a little over a month ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes what's constraining us in growth is something so simple and obvious that somebody else could see, especially somebody that's worked with people at a much higher level. We can see that path, right? So anyway, I think anything else we should touch on of why property managers need a tribe?
I don't think so.
You need a tribe. Don't be isolated. Your business will be the sum of the 5 property management business owners you pay attention to or listen to or connected with the most. And get into a group where people have up-leveled their mindset. Have a conversation with our team. You can just check us out at DoorGrow.com. Go join our free Facebook group where we've got some really cool people in there. They're all very helpful. You can go to DoorGrowClub.com to get access to that. Or just go to our homepage at DoorGrow, click the big pink button, and I have a free training, like 90 minutes going into how we can help you level up your operations, create more freedom and fulfillment for yourself. And that's really what's holding you back probably in adding doors. It's probably that you know how to add doors, but deep down, you know that if you add another 100 doors, another 200 doors in the next year, which we can easily help you do, you know that means your life's going to get worse. We need to change that so your business is scalable and get the right systems in place so that you know your business can handle that and your life gets better the more money and doors you have. And let's make you profitable, like really profitable.
Yeah.
So if your profit margin isn't like at least what?
Minimum 20%?
Yeah, but
like
maybe even 30,
minimum?
maybe even 40%.
Oh, yeah.
Like let's get you.
Some of our clients have 40, 50, 60% profit margin.
Which was not the case when they came to us.
No.
Right. So if you're not experiencing the margins that you would like to in your business, it's a lot of times you just can't see it, but we can rearrange the team. We can lower your costs. We can get your team to be more productive or effective. And they don't need to be micromanaged more. You just need some specific systems, like a good planning system, good hiring system. So anyway, we'll wrap up. I could talk about this stuff forever, but it's nice doing the episode with you, Sarah. So I'm trying to convince her to do more with me. So if you guys like her being on these episodes, comment in the comments.
Oh boy, here we go.
I know she's better looking than me, and she's way smarter than me in some things. And so, yeah.
You're going to butter me up like that. I might do more episodes.
There you go. Butter. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's it for today. So until next time, to our mutual growth. Bye, everyone.